there's an awesome piece of news that just came out yesterday that I absolutely love. So Patrick and Mitch, they both know this. I have this obsession with this single population of hippos. So Pablo Escobar, famed drug lord, when he was ruling Colombia, he brought in I think it was something like 8 hippos to Colombia to like live in the garden ponds of his ridiculous cocaine estate, right? Well, Pablo Escobar got iced, and 8 hippos escaped in the 1980s, right?
Of course they did.
In 2012, when the last kind of like official study was done, there was like 35 hippos living in the Magdalena Basin, which is a lot, like 35 hippos, from 8, like they're breeding. But this is what gets so crazy. That was the last time like a study was done, right? So as of like yesterday, 2020, they went and did some population estimates to see what's going on with these hippos. There's now somewhere between 85 and 90 living in this like 2,000 square kilometer area. But where it gets even crazier is these animals. Yeah, so there's now like 85, 90 of these hippos in Colombia, but they don't have a natural predator, right? So their population is just growing exponentially, and it's estimated that in the next 5 to 10 years, their population could swell to be around 1,500 hippos, basically taking over the Amazon jungle from Pablo Escobar's like cocaine pets.
Dude, all right, so here's a broologist question. How does that affect the natural species and natural way of life that things are there? If you introduce a hippo into the Amazon, how does that affect everything else that is there, like anacondas and caimans and whatever else?
Well, first of all, we don't know because it's never been done before, right? So all we can do is take guesses. But, hippos are important to African ecology because they widen rivers, right? The way they move through rivers, it widens them. They pick and eat all the vegetation off the riverbanks. It makes rivers wider. They're seed dispersers because they eat all this vegetation, and then they do the little shit tail spin thing that we always talk about on this pod. So they're going to have some massive effects. Anacondas, caiman, piranha, all these things don't know what the fuck a hippo is, right? And they're going to be stomping on them, and they're going to be. It's just like it's a mess. And when we think of invasive species, we think of like a rabbit or a snail or a cane toad or something. You're talking about these gargantuan hippos invading the Amazon, and their population just being totally out of control because it's got to be hippo paradise, right? There's no lions, there's no elephants, there's no crocodiles, there's nothing that could mess them up in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. There's unlimited food. There's like an incredible environment. It's hippo heaven.
Well, and think about this too. No predators. In the wild, the unchecked, the average female hippo will have 15 to 20 offspring during her life.
Wow.
Right? So that is, think about an exponential growth.
Yep.
Yeah.
If every female that's alive now has 15 to 20 hippos, and then each of them have 15 to 20 hippos, you're talking about this exponential growth of the hippo population with tons of food and no predators.
In a pretty small area, too. You said like just 2.
I mean, they're just going to keep it. It's just going to keep growing and growing too. But this is a 4,000-pound animal that everybody knows this. Like I think is the most terrifying animal basically in the world when you come to face with one. Like they're going to cause havoc. Yeah. Like they are going to be a real problem at this point. So something is going to have to be done by the Colombian government, I'm sure. But the whole story is just wacky. I mean, just cocaine hippos and exponential overtake. I mean, it's just wild.